we're hearing the word decolonise thrown around a lot, about decolonising education, decolonising the curriculum, whereas I like to flip it and indigenise. We're indigenising the curriculum. And so Mātauranga Māori, obviously, because we're the Indigenous people of Aotearoa, is probably the best way for us to start indigenising our curriculum is through Mātauranga Māori. I absolutely love this whakatauki, and I would say it's the theme for our department, of whakatauki for my department. Ko te ahurei o te tamaiti, arahio a tātou mahi. Let the uniqueness of the child guide our work. All right, which is really about recognising that each student in front of us is unique in their own way. That we shouldn't be lumping them all together. That they bring their own strengths, their own identities, their own experiences into the classroom, their own stories into the classroom with them. So just a bit of, I start off with defining what mana oriti mō te Mātauranga Māori means. There's a lot of people don't really know what it actually truly means. And so if we break it down, there's an idea out there that mana is just about power, all right, but it's not. And that's for all our Mātauranga Māori concepts. One definition doesn't do it justice at all. So it's about, yes, power, authority, respect, but it's also about prestige. It's also about importance. And then orete is similar, equal, to be the same of. And then obviously Mātauranga Māori, Māori ways of knowing. Okay, and then bring it all together, it's about Māori knowledge, ways of knowing are given the same prestige and importance as any other form of knowledge out there. Equal. All right, so group discussion for your reflection. Okay, where are you with Mātauranga Māori? How confident are you? What support, and that's you, what support can I give, not what support Rowan Taurima can give you, is what support can you give? Whose responsibility is it? How confident are you in connecting with local iwi? And what are you wanting from local iwi? If you know who your local iwi is, or if there's a relationship there. Yeah. So, turn around, discuss, give you a good amount of time to do that. Okay, can I just bring everyone back to the front here? Okay, so how confident are you when it comes to Mātauranga Māori? Who would say achieved with excellence? Achieved with merit?
I'm a high achieved.
A high achieved? Yeah.
An A5.
Low achieved? Be honest, I'm not judging, to be honest. I'm really not judging. Not achieved? So I guess, what support can you give at the moment? Because majority of, and I don't believe it at all, that you guys are rating yourself as not achieved, so you'll probably say, I can't give any support. Ka pai, that's all good. Whose responsibility is it in your school? It's everyone's responsibility. When my principal asked me to be the mana o Oreti mō te Mātauranga expert, I went, I'm not the expert. I can help, all right? But there are so many other experts on staff and outside of school that we should be pulling in. We should not be relying on one person to be the expert. How confident are you connecting with your local iwi? Well, for a lot of us, our connection with the iwi is through our school, especially if we're not from that area. Yeah. And you don't have to answer this, but what are you wanting from local iwi? And that's a hesitation on a lot of iwi's part, and having schools approach them and just want. And I'll talk about my experience in working with Ngāti Tō. All right, your school. So that was personal level. What about a school-wide level? You know, what support is there from your middle leaders and your senior leaders when it comes to implementing Mātauranga Māori? And it could be there's none. You know, they're relying on little pockets. You know, is Mātauranga Māori something that will be made to fit in with current units of work? You know, we're just going to pick it up and dump it in so we don't have to change what we're doing. Going back to your school relationship with local iwi, and there are some schools who don't have a very good relationship with local iwi, and there'll be reasons behind that. When is Mātauranga Māori going to be implemented at your school, and how is it going to be implemented? Again, is it coming back to we're just going to fit it in, or we'll wait till the change packet forces us to put it in? So I'll give you 6 minutes to talk with your group. All right, I'll bring everyone back. I don't want to put any school on the spot, but does anyone want to share their kōrero?
I think in our school there is a real like they want it done. They want us to do it, and there is a real passion to do it. But also just like I think our middle and senior leaders. Gotta be careful how you word things, right? I think there's an element of being really overwhelmed with the change package.
Yep.
So it's like all HODs now need to have unit plans that identify where they do literacy and numeracy and Mātauranga and da-da-da-da-da, and they just like everything's just like chucked into this one thing.
Yep.
And yeah, and it is, and it's fitting it in. It's going, okay, in this unit, how can I tick the literacy box? How can I tick the Mātauranga box? It's just become part of that rather than actually really looking
An
at our
authentic, genuine.
Yeah, I just think there's a real, there's no coherent decision making around upskilling us in Mātauranga because of, oh, but we also have to do all these other things. That kind of feeling
Yeah.
is what we've
Bit of a panic, manic.
Yeah. Glad you got that out of my voice.
I'm at Town College, and we've recently had a change of leadership. We've had a new principal this year, which is pretty amazing. One of the first things he did was appoint one of our kaiako Māori as the kaitiaki of the school, which is units and time and hutia towards a lot of this mahi that falls on kaiako Māori within the school without compensation. And that kaitiaki role supports us to embed tikanga in a really meaningful way. He works with HODs to actually really sort of support implementing Mātauranga Māori into curriculum in a meaningful way. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Really cool.
Thank you. Okay, so what are your understanding of the following concepts? Now, these concepts are probably the most popular Mātauranga Māori concepts in education or out there in New Zealand. We all have some idea of what tūranga waiwai is, what kaitiakitanga is, mana and all that. All right, so that's a start. So, you know, what's your understanding when it comes to those things there? I do have a glossary if anyone would like a glossary to help them. Thank you. So these definitions came off the NCA Change website glossary because I wanted to make sure as history teachers we're pretty much all speaking the same language. And so these are the concepts that actually are being highlighted across the social sciences curriculum in the NCA Change package. All right, so it's not just history. I checked geo, I checked eco, I checked religious studies and all that. There are these concepts really being weaved right across all of them. All right, so these are the ones that I'm going to kind of focus on today because these are the most popular ones. Okay, so if you have access to your school drive, all right, get a unit plan out, a unit plan that you currently teach, and then look at these questions and share your answers with your group. What's the intention of the unit plan? How do you deliver the key concepts? What have been your successes to date? What have been your struggles? And how do you know these have been your successes and struggles? So I'm going to give you 10, 12 minutes to have that discussion. I'm happy to email these questions out for people if you want. So I've already spoken about this is what we're doing at Aotea College. In our conversations as curriculum leaders, we said if this is valuable, if it's important, then it needs to drive our units in the junior school. And so we're going to start it in integrated studies and as well as Aotearoa histories. And so again, like the NCA Change Package website, I constantly go there because I'm nosy, because I want to know what's happening, and also because, again, I want us, in my department, my school, speak the same language. You know, if Tūranga Waiwai is this for us in integrated, then what is it for science? You know, so then the kids can leave us, they go to science, they're taking that understanding and learning and applying it to science or applying it to maths. So we're all speaking the same language at school. And I said, you know, we've got to be mindful for integrated. We've got the social studies refresh. We're waiting for the English refresh to drop so we can do our integrated studies program, and then making sure that the two Aotearoa histories and integrate support and complement each other. So we've started developing 2 new units that will be delivered at Year 9 integrated, with the focus being mana and kaitiakitanga. They're going to drive those units. And so mana, is that big enough for everyone to see? So even mana, there are many various forms of mana that the kids need to understand. We've got mana, mana whenua, mana tangata, mana whakatipu, mana tupuna. And so when we're looking at mana, we're just not looking at mana, we're looking at those things, okay, and what they mean and what we can teach them to reinforce mana, the whole concept of mana. Again, we're waiting for, at that time we were waiting for the refresh to come in so we can start putting that in. We've got our values and cases from the curriculum. As I mentioned this morning, how we have the AOs for English and SOS, okay, they are highlighted in each unit from both curriculums, so we know we have to be aware of it. Now I know AOs are disappearing, so that will be replaced by the refresh. There's the English AOs. And then here's our know, understand, do, so to speak. So our unit plans are going to follow the same framework of know, understand, do, with guiding focus questions, etc. It is a work in progress. It is not ready to be delivered. Because there's only very few of us on staff that have, I guess, the competency in terms of te reo understanding. All right. So these unit plans have to support my colleagues who are not so confident or a bit whakamā about doing this. So it's almost starting from scratch. So this is what it means. These are the stuff that could support that. You know, but again, we won't leave everyone on their own. We will be coming together to help and support each other when it comes to this important mahi. And we're not even worried about the assessment yet, because I do have issues when it comes to assessments, but I'll leave that rant for another day. And so we said, well, we got mana. What's another concept in the junior school that we know will flow from subject to subject and we went kaisiakitanga. You know, people do some version of global warming, you know, on some various levels, you know. So we decided to go with the two that we knew that the kids could transfer from subject to subject to subject. Anyone have any questions? I'm going to race because I'm cropping into Brody and Kimberly's. Yep, so I would encourage you guys to do a mini stock take, kind of like what we did with history, but do a mini stock take with your junior program as well. Okay, and I believe, my opinion, okay, if our kids are being introduced to Mātauranga Māori concepts from Year 9, by the time they get to the senior school, they're bringing that learning in with them and they can apply it to any context because they've already had it for 2 years previously. And the level of understanding and discussions that they will bring with them will be rich and deep.
And let's not forget that our intermediate and primary colleagues will have also been doing a lot of this work.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, more than 2 years. I mean, my kahui ako, I've got primary schools asking for us to sit down so we can help them plan out the program all the way up to us. But, you know, we get a bit more time with the kids than primary. Yeah, so any questions? Cool. Silence is golden. All right. Thank you.